What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down some very important levels to watch for as the market progresses, and how things are looking, my personal opinion on the charts. But let me just mention that I am not a financial planner. Take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, don't forget to smash the like button. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire community as a whole. Anyways, SPY is up 0.15% for the day. Kind of a lackluster move to the upside so far, but this could develop into something much bigger once we see the real reaction. And what reaction am I talking about? The answer is to CPI. So CPI came out about 15 minutes ago. We had core CPI month over month at about 0.2%. So that was aligned with expectation. Core CPI year over year was at 3.2%, which is not bad. CPI month over month was at 0.2%, and then all items CPI year over year was at 2.9%. Every single thing was aligned with expectations, not bad whatsoever. And the market's getting a more positive reaction so far, but it's not that big yet. Sometimes you see things like that happen because when we open, we get a bigger move. And sometimes there's manipulation involving the way the price action is being dictated. So far, so good from the CPI reports. Not bad data whatsoever. Everything was aligned with expectations, and this is actually one of the best reports we've seen in a while. Look at the chart right here. There's a big downtrend that's been respected on each of the metrics, but just keep it at this. I know that the data is not necessarily sufficient. It's not really entirely trustworthy as well, given the way they calculate CPI. But I just want to say that the Fed is going to look at this data and at least look at this in a more positive light, and that increases the odds of a more positive reaction for the markets and the Fed potentially giving us a cut. So just to be clear, we got a continuation of this decline on core CPI, and then for all items CPI, it's basically the same thing, a nice decline. And then right here, you guys could see the chart's showing a little bit of an increase for month over month, but this is what we were expecting for July. This also has to do with the previous data being so low. So that's completely normal. I mean, this is not necessarily a bad report. Everything was aligned with expectations. So far, so good. Now the market thinks there's a 43.5% chance we get a 50 basis point cut and a 56.5% chance we get a 25 basis point cut. A little bit of an adjustment, at least relative to before. We had Dole announce earnings. It's doing relatively well. It's kind of up. And then Cisco comes out after the market closes. Not to mention Alibaba, Walmart, and a few more for tomorrow. Starbucks saw a very, very nice looking push after they announced that their CEO was basically leaving, and then the Chipotle CEO is going to take over the top job. So that's some big news for them. And then there's been some talk about other things, such as the fact that Google has unveiled a new AI assist for its Gemini Assist platform, and then it's going to be very useful for Android devices. So pretty cool stuff. Besides that, CPI was the main thing that kind of shook the markets. So the question is, what's going to happen from here? Let's just talk about this. So looking at SPY, we are looking bullish. We're technically in the green right now, making higher highs and higher lows. If we were to lose 542, look at 538 as key supports. And if that fails, let's look at 535. And if we continue to push, so far we're testing 543 as resistance. I think we could try to break this. Our next target is going to be 544. And then if that breaks, we're going up to 547. Make sure you watch those levels very, very carefully. 547 breaks, we're going up to about 550. But overall, SPY is looking bullish. We're respecting an uptrend. We're slowly pushing. This could actually develop a lot nicer as time goes on. So far, so good. For Nvda, we look more bullish as well. We got a nice break for the last couple of days. If we lose 116, make sure you watch 113. If we continue to push, we're looking at 120 to 122 as potential targets. If not higher, we could go all the way up towards 125 later on. I just want to say that for now, we're going to be looking at that 120 target to see if Nvidia could break that. We do look bullish, and there's a good chance we may attempt to break through that, going up to 122, if not higher. We look more bullish on Nvidia. Bitcoin is looking decent. It's kind of shuffling right now. Look at 61,700 as resistance. If we break this, we're going to push higher. We have 60,150 as support, so we'll have to see how well that holds up. But so far, so good. Tesla also looks more bullish. We're looking at 210.8 as our key resistance. So the 209 to 211 area, it's an entire range of resistance based off our EMAs. If we break through that 211 area, Tesla could be looking for a push up to about 215. If that breaks, we're going up to about 220. If we fail to hold to 208, I'd be looking at 205 as key support, not to mention 202. So those are your levels, and just know that Tesla looks more bullish nonetheless. It's favoring a push for the 210s. It looks a little bit more bullish to me. ES is looking pretty good. We're actually above our 200 EMA, so we got to try to hold above 54, 56. As long as we hold that, we could be pushing towards 54, 5480 basically, then 5500 above that. If we lose 54, 56, we could be dipping back down to the 5440 flat area. But I think that this is favoring upside. ES is favoring that, and so is SPX. We're looking at 5435 as resistance. If we break that, we're looking for a much bigger push up towards 5480 basically. And if we lose 5410, SPX will look for a little bit of a dip. I think this so far this favors upside. We're going to push a little bit first before we see anything else, so watch for that. For QQQ, look at 464 as resistance. If we break this, look at 468 and 470 plus. If we reject here, look at 458 as support, if not lower levels. We still favor the upside. Apple's also looking more bullish. Look at 222 as resistance. If we break this, we're going up to 225. And if we dip, look at 220 support, followed by 217.5. But we still look bullish, in my personal opinion. That makes me a lot more excited. So we look bullish on Aapl. For super micro, we're looking a little bit more bullish as well. As long as we hold up a 580, we're looking for 600. If you reject, we're looking for 560 support. We favor upside, in my opinion. The IWM is looking decent right now. I'm going to be looking at 209 as a key level. If we break the 209s, we're going back up to 212. If we don't, we're just shuffling. We have 207 as our support now. That's forming. If we break that, we're going back down to 204. But so far, we're holding up very well. Coinbase is looking more bullish. I think it might be testing 204 soon. If that breaks, we're going up to 210. And if we lose 196, we turn back to bearish, but this still favors upside. Amazon looks bullish. If we break and hold above 172, we're looking for a push up towards 174 and then 177. If we lose 168, we turn back down. Meta is no different. We're trying to push for 530. If we break that, look for 534 and eventually 535. We look bullish. If we were to break down, look at 525 as support. If we lose that, we turn back down, but we still look bullish. Microsoft looks more bullish. As long as we're above 412, we favor a move up to 416 and 420. If we lose 412, we might be dipping to 409, but we favor the upside. Google's also looking decent. Look at resistance at 164. If we reject, look at 162.5 as our support. We still look bullish. We're on an uptrend overall, but we might dip a little bit for the short term. So just be careful with Google. It's showing some weakness compared to the market because of negative news. So I just wanted to call that out. So anyways, Tesla's pushing right now, trying to break its resistance, and SPY is currently at about 543. So we'll just give this some time and see how things develop. Thank you for listening, guys. I'll see you guys in a few hours for another update, and peace out.